Guys, Veggie Gamer back, and we're back to Necrit stuff, guys. Update, very, very exciting. Basically, I think like within the hour of me posting the last video, Necrit posted an update to his lore of still here. I've got to say still lore. And yeah, obviously, I found that absolutely fascinating, that original video, guys. It was so brilliant. I'll be honest, guys. I really liked the Still Here trailer. Knowing what's going on now, I think it is so much better. That's the great thing about, learning all this stuff via these videos and everything, guys. That, I appreciated the Still Here as just being an awesome trailer. But to understand what's going on with Yasuo in it, like, the drama between Kale and Morgana, obviously, what's going on with Tryndamere and the wonderful Ashe. I gotta say, guys, Ashe is my MVP of that trailer. I know it's cheap. I know she's only in it for like half a second, but she is my MVP of that trailer. I do like to give it my MVPs. Let me know who your MVP is. I think that most people say Kindred, which is fair. Flipping amazing. But, like I say, we've got an update video from Necrit, and so we're going to be checking this out today. It's 15 minutes long. The thumbnail is of Yasuo, so I don't know if it's going to be particularly about Yasuo, but this looks like Noxus to me. So this is going to be, maybe it's going to be more information on if that actually was not Ionia or not. Kind of heartbreaking if that is, if Ionia's basically been completely overrun. I don't know, there's a lot of, a lot of Noxian apologists. Apologists is probably the wrong term. A lot of, people who understand the philosophy of Noxus. Either way, guys, let's keep this intro short. Thank you so much for your support on these videos, guys. Thank you so much for letting me know what I should check out next. Seriously, you guys give me a whole bunch of stuff. We will be covering it as we go. And obviously, we absolutely need to get over to Bridging the Rift, because that is what it's called, isn't it? Because we're not too far off from Arcane Season 2, guys. That's a nice thing to... Well, still almost a year, but you know what I mean. Let's check out what this update is. The video itself is called The Still Here Lore References Got Crazier. So maybe it's not so much what happened in the trailer as the references that you know what? Let's stop questioning that and let's just watch Necrit's video. And as always, guys, do please continue to suggest things for me to check out on the channel when it comes to League of Legends or other stuff, of course. Even if you're repeating yourself, guys, please do, because obviously, sometimes you suggest something and then, like, I still haven't covered it in months and everything. I do still want you to be run-minding me, guys. And so, either way, let's check this out. Let's find out what's going on. Maybe it's going to be more about Yasuo, maybe it's going to be more about the whole trailer. 5, 4, cinematic. I always call it trailer. Anyway. Also, I've been watching my reactions back to these cinematics, guys. I swear, I never say get wrecked outside of the League of Legends trailers. I never say it, but when I'm watching those trailers, I can't stop saying it. Just like wolf eyes. Okay, you probably can't see that. I'm sure that isn't the reference that Necrit's going to be mentioning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You want to prove that the Still Here cinematic is the best cinematic ride ever released?
It's pretty damn good.
It's been a week and people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
People are still watching it and they are still finding more details.
Okay.
And things are getting so cool that some of the things which people previously ignored because we honestly thought that Riot just forgot about it, that's to keep on with the rule of cool. If things look badass, it is better than the integrity of a story. Well, it turns out Riot did not forget. And all the parts with Kindred got a whole another awesome layer. So today, let's talk about what the community found. And let's talk about how all the lore references are getting crazier.
Excellent. Sounds like it's a group
first
effort.
Things first. If you are wondering just how much better is the Still Here cinematic over all the other cinematics...
I still really like Awaken.
Well, according to the charts, Still Here has the fastest growing views...
Awaken's not even on there.
...videos Riot ever released.
Paranoia's on there.
And that includes all
Awesome.
the views on KDA 2.
More?
In fact,
I've never even
within
heard of
the
that.
first 24 hours, KDA more was first with 12
Oh,
million
KDA!
views. Warriors was second with 10 million. But now, Still Here
Gods.
left them
Whoa!
22 million
Holy
views.
moly!
And as of right now, 3 days after coming out, it is currently sitting at 80 million views.
That's
so rest
insane.
assured,
I've never
this
heard of more
cinematic is
gods.
going places. But now, let's dive into all the things that came out around it. The first piece of new info we got actually came from League's social media.
Oh.
There they released a video where they quickly covered all the cinematics references to League in-game.
Oh, really?
Meaning they simply mentioned all of the champions' abilities which you could see in the cinematic. But one of their examples stood out and it left a lot of people confused. So first they showed us that Morgana used Soul Shackles, which is her ultimate. Now, in my first video, I did mention that it reminds me of her Q because it's binding Aatrox to the ground. But sure, I'll admit she's channeling it, so it's more like her ultimate. Regardless, Morgana was always about her chains, so it's not like it really matters. Next, Gale uses Divine Ascent, which, as I mentioned, is her passive. Then Yasuo uses his Wind Wall, which, as I explained, is actually very important for the entire story of this cinematic.
That isn't Gale's ultimate.
Especially in relation to how the cinematic ends. After which they confirmed that here Yasuo is using Sweeping Blade. That's the ability where he's dashing through people. Now, to be honest, I still don't know how much I want to credit Yasuo just running to an ability in-game, but alright, that ability is about dashing through people.
It was slow motion as well,
exactly
so...
what he did here.
Yeah.
Just know that in this video, they specifically cut it before Yasuo starts cutting through his enemies with the wind. Because I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be part of the ability, because there he's just doing totally different thing. Anyway, I explained it in the last video. Then, of course, he's using his Steel Tempest, specifically the third hit with the Tornado.
Cool name.
And then there is the one that confused a lot of people.
Oh.
Because here you can see Kindred's arrow coming in for Yasuo, and Riot calls it Hawkeye, which comes from Ashe.
Ashe, that's what she does at the end.
Outrageous, right? Now, all of you just didn't pay attention. See, even though this clip is showing you this arrow from this scene, it's not actually pointing at this scene. It is cut in a way so you can see the beginning of the next scene.
Oh,
because
so
right after this arrow lands, it reveals Tryndamere's scene. And I really mean, it is very subtle, but right above the area where Tryndamere is, you can actually see the reveal VFX from Ashe's Hawkeye.
Oh, you're kidding!
That is the actual effect from the Hawkshot ability, which probably explains that's how Ashe found Tryndamere in the first place. She used that ability to track him down.
Sorry, I don't know what's shouting.
The scene before this one also has an arrow might be a coincidence, but it also might be planned out. Again, the details in the cinematic are totally crazy.
So that still is Kindred's arrow.
On purpose.
Lamb.
Next, it's showing us that the wolf is using the wolf's frenzy, which I mean, sure, he's just jumping and biting. Then, of course, Tryndamere is using Undying Rage.
That icon for Tryndamere.
But he is also using the Spinning Slash. This is something I almost missed in the first video, and if you go back, you can see that I had to add in a note, because
that is his ultimate, right? I think someone said.
But yes, in this scene, Tryndamere is in fact spinning. Then of course we get Volley from Ashe, which was heavily nerfed because she only fires 2 arrows, and she got one more Hawkshot to end this cinematic.
Even icon
which is pretty funny because Hawkshot has 2 charges and she used both. Maybe that's also not a coincidence.
Is that a league joke, is it? That is hilarious.
Riot also put the foreseen Yasuo skin
on my god. Yes,
where
please.
the skin got its own lore description.
Oh.
And it reads, Yasuo glimpsed many paths in his dreams. One saw him as an old man alone, having strayed far from his course. He had given up ambition, family, even love, all to atone for his sins which he could no longer remember. This vision was not a warning, but a reminder. For Yasuo knew he could always return to his path. He only needed to find it, or let it find him. So yes, in the end, this scene was just a vision. Which is a shame. I really
are there other
hope
hypothetical
to double down on
skins?
this one. Olaf would deserve it. But it's interesting to see that it says that he had given up on his ambition, family, even love. If the Ruined King taught us anything, he does have love in his life.
Oh?
He did decide to go somewhere else towards Noxus to find his destiny, and
what is this?
maybe that's why he's confused now. His story ended in a place where everyone believed that he would be looking for Riven.
Is this an RPG?
But then during the Sentinels of
Riven?
Light, Riven was freed from the Noxian prison, and you know what? I don't really know what's happening. What I do know is that this is a vision, and we still don't really know what Yasuo is doing right now. It's just that if Yasuo decides to just give up on everything he had ever done, he would not end up in a happy place. Speaking of which, this is perhaps where the coolest new detail arose. You see, as people dug deeper and deeper into all the storylines surrounding Kindred, they realized that all of their previous lore still lines up here. And it all goes back to that one final scene. Now, the first thing some people pointed out here is that there is no way that this is an arrow from the lamb. As you could clearly see, lamb has clean arrows without an arrowhead, which is true. That's why this arrow represents the arrow from the lamb.
It's like an airplane.
Because that's the arrow that delivered the kill. In a way, that's how Kindred claimed him. Remember that the lamb and the wolf are not really there as part of the physical world. It's not like the lamb was actually standing there in the army just waiting with her shot. Not to mention they would have to be some kind of Santa Claus to really deliver every kill on everyone who ever dies.
But she must
I have no idea if this explanation makes any sense to you, but a lot of how the lamb and the wolf work comes from the mind of the one who's dying. So in short, yes, the arrow still represents the arrow of death that came from the lamb, even though it is physically an arrow that came from the bandits. In fact, it is this detail that revealed some cool references. And honestly, it is something I didn't mention at first because I didn't believe Riot was really paying attention to it. But especially after watching the Tryndamere fight for the 8th time now, it all makes so much more sense now. You see, the lamb and the wolf work as a pair. And they each claim a different kind of souls.
Okay, I thought it was just the lamb.
Takes lives peacefully. Whenever someone dies and they are ready to just pass into the afterlife, the lamb is the one who delivers the final blow with a swift arrow.
Wow.
But in case someone refuses to die and they want to fight till the last moment, the wolf steps in and he gives them the fight they were looking for.
Wow.
That's why, even in the in-game quotes, the wolf always wants everyone to run away from the lamb. He wants them to not want to die, because that way, he gets to chase them.
He gets commission.
They go.
Hungry we follow.
Wolf chases what does not willingly go.
As a fun fact,
that's awesome.
Noxus,
That give me
they
chills,
don't really
guys.
believe in the lamb. To them,
Who the
that
heck's this
is
guy?
just the wolf. Because Noxians always fight till their last breath. And
Right.
so the lamb rarely gets anything to do. So going back to the Yasuo scene,
Good old day.
this cinematic specifically highlights that the arrow is the one that delivered the kill. And it visually hints that it is the arrow of the lamb. Because in this scene, Yasuo accepted the peaceful death. That's why he closed his eyes and accepted it all. Which is also why seeing the wolf in the distance gets so much more meaning. The reason why we can see the wolf
They've really
in the
thought this
distance
one out,
seemingly
guys.
not
This is
doing anything
crazy.
while Lamb claims the kill is because the wolf is watching and patiently waiting to see if Yasuo
changes his
decides to fight.
mind.
Because should Yasuo keep fighting here, the wolf would get a chance to step in.
Yeah.
That's the real choice Yasuo made in this scene.
That's
we all
cool.
know that he had the ability to keep going here. The cinematic specifically showed us that he could use the wind wall to save himself here. But instead of letting the wolf chase him, he decided to embrace the lamb.
The lamb.
It is insane to see just how much of this was portrayed by a single glowing arrow in the sky.
And this is
Now,
definitely
what's cool
intentional.
Is that a
I think it
similar
must
thing
be.
also happened in Tryndamere.
Amazing,
fight.
absolutely
Around
amazing.
the internet, I saw a lot of people talking about the fact that the wolf did all the fighting, and the lamb didn't do much to take him down. But in
Waiting
reality,
for Tryndamere
that
to...
was absolutely on purpose. From the moment Tryndamere stood up, he was presented with a choice.
Yeah.
Would he go down peacefully or would he fight the wolf? That is why the first one he saw was the lamb, who acted as the one to present this choice. But of course, this was likely not the first time they fought. In fact, looking back, it is impossible for this to be their first fight. Logically, Tryndamere had to fight them at least once in the past. that would be the moment
Massive
Aatrox
Yeti in the
killed
background.
him and infused him with the blood magic.
Yeah.
That's also why, in this cinematic, the wolf didn't hesitate to jump in. To them, it was obvious what would happen next.
But the lamb shouldn't be
now
doing
you
that
may be
then.
asking, well, if it was
How
the
rude.
wolf's job to take Tryndamere down, why did the lamb shoot arrows at all?
Thank you!
The
Exactly what I just
reason
asked.
is in fact very simple. Every time the lamb shot an arrow, it
Yeah.
was to check if Tryndamere would accept the
Was
peaceful
still...
death.
Oh
That's why,
my
if you go
giddy
through the entire
goose.
fight, you'll see that the lamb doesn't rapidly fire off all the time. She shoots once, and then she watches from a distance for a while as the fight with the wolf keeps going.
Oh, I
To
assume that's just how
her,
she works.
This wasn't a fight after all. She didn't have a reason to keep firing. She only did it occasionally to see if Tryndamere made up his mind. It's
putting him
and
off.
In fact,
It's not
she
fair.
only shot 2 arrows before Tryndamere successfully fought him off. And every time he parried one of the lamb's arrows, he did it with the ferocity of a warrior, really denying that peaceful kill. So yes, as it turns out, even the way they fought in this cinematic had much deeper lore. And now, all of
It
this
is putting
ties
him off,
into
though. It's
one
not fair.
single thing that popped off on Reddit. There was a lot of talking about Kindred tilting her head. I absolutely love this one because it could have many different meanings. And as they said in this
Oh
post,
my
it
God.
could be confusion. Why is he not dead
My
yet?
God.
Mockery. You really thought that would work? Challenging. Oh, so you really want to fight? Curiosity. Let's see where this goes then.
I think it's smugness.
Recognition?
Yeah, mockery, I
This
guess,
guy
is
kinda
mockery,
cool,
yeah.
to be honest. Surprise. Yo, what the hell you doing, bro? Indifference. Okay, sure. Do your thing. Patience.
Oh, I
I'm busy
love
tonight,
the effort
this
that people
guy.
are putting
Now,
into this.
given
This is
all the context we
amazing.
have now, I do believe the real purpose here
I don't
is
mean that in a patronising way.
curiosity. Because here they are,
Yeah.
presented with a man who refused both the peaceful arrow of the lamb and the ferocious bite of the wolf. Because despite the wolf really trying, he can fight them off. Which is not something Kindred get to see too often.
Sure.
And so yeah, that's all the new details that popped off in the last 3
Amazing.
days after the cinematic came out. Yeah, as I mentioned, this cinematic is going places. I love how around the
didn't realise
internet
it
there
was
were
this
a lot of
popular.
people who didn't really like this cinematic because apparently it didn't have as much lore as some of the previous ones, like The Call. In the meantime, this one has more lore than all of the previous ones combined. But yeah, now I'm curious what else people are gonna notice in this
A
one.
lot of it's
As
hypothetical,
of right
isn't
now,
it?
there are 80 million views on this cinematic. And I wonder how much of this is just people who keep watching it over and over again.
Oh,
For
absolutely.
context, Brink of Infinity has 3 million.
Oh!
Sure most people didn't even finish watching it once.
I've watched it at least twice, guys. Poor Brinkman Fit. I feel genuinely sorry for Brinkman Fit, guys, despite the fact it's not a real... It's not a person. Like I say, guys, if you watch my playlist, then at some point, much like at some point the lamb or the wolf will get you, at some point, I will have snuck in my... I've already forgotten the name of it. I've already forgotten it. Brink of Infinity, there we go. I have got a reaction to of Brink of Infinity, but it is in another video, and so yes. That was absolutely blooming fascinating. I gotta say, guys, I really hope what I said near the end didn't sound patronising, where I said I love the amount of effort that people have put into this. I'm being legit. I'm not like these losers or anything like that. I think this is wonderful, and it shows. I mean, that is like the definition of art right there, guys. The fact that people are able to break down so many different, things that this... Is this one person's interpretation? Bows are cool. Is that the person who sent it? Or hello, I'm a pickle? Well, either way, guys, I love it. I love... when you have something where the fan base can really get their teeth into it to this point... And I don't mean Tryndamere's shoulder pad, which still confuses me because it doesn't look like teeth marks to me. But it wouldn't be, would it? Going on what Necrit said last time about it being, it's actually the soldiers around him attacking. Okay, so one thing I said it very briefly, guys. By the way, I'll say it again, guys. This is by far the coolest shot of the entire trailer. I love this moment. I assumed. I still find it difficult to understand, guys, the fact that, because I don't know how League works. I actually don't. I presume it's a point-based system or something, or maybe it's like a leveling up, like an upgrade thing. Like you start off playing as, like, you know, Echo, and then you end up playing as Kindred or something like that. I don't know. It does blow my mind that some psychopath with, like, little bitey bombs and a minigun are in the same. Who is my favourite character from Arcane? Is at some point presumably going to be fighting Kindred in the game. Now I gotta say, going on the fact that I haven't seen any games. What I should do, guys, I should have said at the start. Okay, if you're still watching, first of all, well done, because I waffle on a lot. Secondly, is there like an historic game in the tournament or just in general which is like really good at, you know, understanding how awesome League can be as a game? Because maybe I should check that out. You know that famous Street Fighter, whichever one it is, when it's Ken versus Chun-Li, and Ken just keeps on like doing these blocks and then like does the Dragon Punch at the end. Despite if I don't really know what's going on, it's still amazing to watch. Maybe there is like a game of League which was like during a tournament, something like that, which is so iconic that I should check that out, because maybe I should do that in the future. Especially if it has Jinx in it. You won't. Right, now to get back to my point, which I've been trying to say for the last 2 minutes. I assumed, going on this trailer, that this is how Kindred plays. I assumed that Kindred walks around really, really slowly, and her cooldown is massive, but if you can hit it, much like Yoshimitsu's sword in the original Tekken, if you can hit it, the game's basically over. And so I assumed that the reason why she's firing so slowly is because that's legit how it works. I gotta say though, she is being really unfair to Tryndamere here. Because going on her brief, she shouldn't be doing this. Because she's putting him off. If he, like, you know, knocks the arrow away with his hand, which is also one of the best moments in the trailer, and then the wolf just like grabs his head and rips it off, she's gonna be like, oh balls, well that was my fault. Maybe she wouldn't mind. I love the fact that they have different types of kills that they go for. I gotta say, guys, this part with the arrow, it's so... I mean, I'm not surprised a lot of people didn't pick up on it, because that is so... I guess the term which I think you're trying to think of is symbolism. It's so drenched in symbolism. The fact that this is just one of Eye Patch Guy's army. I presume it's his army. It is just one of the arrows, but in Yasuo's hypothetical mind, it's the lamb. Oh my goodness, I love it. I absolutely love it. Also, I did say, guys, are there other hypothetical? Because this is a possibility of a canon, not Kanan. Yasuo. So are there other skins in League which are also... Perfect example. Is there one where Morgana... Actually, I presume there probably is. Is there a Morgana skin where she... Well, because then she'd have to have the sword. But she's still working alongside Kale? Probably not. Probably not. Oh, blum neck, guys. I by the way, the reason why I do reaction videos is because I love watching reaction videos. And so sometimes you will find me watching other reaction videos. And I've got a couple of comments saying, hey, Veggie, what are you doing here? Over the last couple of days in Still Here trailers. And I did hear a little bit of lore, which I haven't heard before, apparently. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. Apparently Morgana blummin' ripped her own wings off. Which isn't nice. Oh, yeah, the stuff about Riven. Yes, there's someone there who may need my help. A part of my past that still means something. Is this suggesting there's romance between Riven and Yasuo? I've gone into it in my previous videos, guys, but Riven is the only character that I had even knew existed in League before watching Arcane. And the reason is because one of my favourite video games of all time is called Riven. It's an old puzzle game. It's a sequel to Myst. To me, a third of Myst. And, you know, every now and then, give it a little Google, see if there's any, like, you know, HD remakes being made of it. And this person's character would always appear. I think, that's not who I'm looking for. And so I knew about Riven long before watching Arcane. But she is awesome. She is arguably the star of what is probably still my favourite cinematic that I've seen. I really liked Awaken, guys. But yeah, I mean, I knew that her and Yasuo were involved and everything, but it sounds like there may be a romantic aspect to it. I'm so sorry if I've heard that wrong. I also think that one of the actors that I watched said that the spinning slash is actually Tryndamere's ultimate. I don't know if ultimate's the right term, guys. Because going on this, I think that Necrit referred to this divine ascent as being a passive. I don't know what that means. I would have thought a passive means a non-violent move, but it looked pretty blooming violent to me. But then he said that Morgana's ultimate was the chains, which is interesting. I presume it does damage as well? Then maybe, I don't know. You see, I'm really here for the lore. It'd be insane for me to try and learn how the game works through these videos, quite frankly. This is insane, though, guys. I say presumably, it's probably approaching 100,000 already. Gordon Bennett. Baddest I've heard of before. That is a KDA video. The Call I've watched. Paranoia. Glad that's doing so well, because that was awesome as well. I think I really listened to Popstar. I had to play it through my head. Popstar and Paranoia when it comes to the musical stuff, guys. And I think I actually prefer Paranoia, which is insane. But more I haven't checked out yet. Warriors is fantastic. I'm not surprised it's up there. Gods I haven't heard of. The Baddest is a KDA. The Call, yeah. But my God! And you know what, guys? There are some reactors that I've seen of Still Here, League players who are like saying, yeah, it's alright. Maybe they were hoping for their favourite characters or something like that. But clearly it's doing well, amongst most of us, guys. And I've certainly watched it more than 8 times. Oh yeah, also in my ventures of watching other reactors, guys, I keep on hearing about a healer called Tyra or something like that. Apparently it's a very popular character. Like a couple of people said, yeah, I'm a Tyra main. I've literally no idea who that is, guys. So I may have said that wrong, but it's something like that. But this character looks awesome. This could be several characters that we've met before. Maybe the guy with the big shield. This looks a little bit like probably not the Ionian from Awaken. I can't remember. I'm not sure. I don't know if I recognise Andy's characters or if this is even a character. I don't think it probably is. Anyway, guys, fantastic stuff. And it seems like, I mean, I would like this to be confirmed because quite frankly, some of it, the arrow thing still is a bit misty in my mind, but it's all so symbolic. It'd be awesome for someone at League to like say, yeah, this is what we meant. Also this bit where apparently we see some sort of clue to the arrow actually being. Oh no! It was when the League video was put out saying that here, Hawk Shot, which is obviously the move that we see at the end of the trailer because it's an arrow and it looks like a hawk. But he reckons that you see something in the air here. You see something in the air. So Hawk Shot. So it's of course. So obviously at the end it seems like Ash is calling for help. That's what I was saying. Whereas this also is like a beacon to tell people where you are. Is it this? Is it the no? Because something. No, that's the snowflake there. It must be this like echo effect. Not talking about the character from Arcane. Fascinating. My goodness, guys, this is deep lore stuff, but it is excellent. So, guys, as always, let me know if there's any other Necrit stuff that you want me to check out. I find his videos absolutely blooming fascinating. And a little while ago, I did notice that he'd shortly after I put out a my first video that I'd done of his stuff, which is the MMO video, the World of Runeterra, what it was called. I did notice that he'd put out a video saying about something about reactors and everything. And I thought, oh god! And so I immediately did watch it, and he says at the end he's absolutely fine with people reacting to his stuff. It's like, okay, thank goodness. And so yeah, if there's anything else from his that you want me to check out, I've seen this little dragon character about a lot recently. Is it a new character? It must be. It must be. Anyway, let me know what you want me to check out next, guys. And yes, thank you so much for watching. This was. I'm gonna rewatch this video several times because some of it was. It's all fascinating, and quite frankly, I think it's on the point. But some bits I still don't quite get. It doesn't help that I never played the game, but yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, any other information on it. Oh, anything I've got wrong, please correct me, guys. I need to be corrected because I know that I waffle on, and at least 50% of the things that I say are probably incorrect. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm VEGGIEKNIGHTS, and I'll see you next time.